Back in 2007, the Nissan R35 GT R caused an absolute storm. It was so much faster than Porsche's 911 Turbo around the old Nürburgring. You had to wonder if Nissan's test driver hadn't just taken a cheeky shortcut through the trees. When we got our hands on the first grey import GTR to arrive in the UK, we pitted it against the Turbo at Rockingham and found the Japanese car a whole second quicker. Now Porsche's hit back with a brand new Turbo based on the latest 991 Series 911. So we've come back to Rockingham for round 2. So we brought along the hotter of the two turbos available. This one's the Turbo S, £141,000, 542 brake horsepower and all sorts of clever gear, torque vectoring differential, four-wheel steering and even dynamic engine mounts.
But remember, Nissan hasn't been standing idle with this car. Those first cars had 485 brake horsepower. This one's got 542. There's been all sorts of clever tweaks with the chassis and drivetrain. And I reckon the lap times of this are going to be at least a match for your Porsche, maybe even a bit more. But before we do that, I reckon we should limber up with some drag times. Okay, so I'm a little bit down on power here, not much, and I weigh 140 kilos more versus the 911 Turbo S, but Nissan claims this car will do 0 to 62, 2.8 seconds. The Porsche is 3.1, so I think I'm going to win.
So dropping it to D, Sport Plus, foot on the throttle, foot on the brake, let it go. Should be easy.
So much faster, it's unbelievable.
So far, I can't even see him in the mirror.
So much faster. Jesus.
Who'd have thought it'd be that much of a gap between these two cars? When you see these figures written down, you know, a tenth here and there, it's difficult to actually think what sort of difference that makes, but what it makes is humiliation at the traffic lights, in the case of GTR drivers. Well, that was pretty comprehensive, wasn't it? Yeah. This thing digs in so hard off the line. At the end of the straight, it was something like 2 car lengths ahead. Yeah. You were sitting there squirming like a dog with worms.
Yeah, well, but look, that's because you've got the engine at the back of the car. It gives you extra traction off the line. You'll be king of the traffic lights, but ultimately this thing's going to be the one-trick pony, and this is going to monster it on the track.
Let's get over there then.
After you.
You will be. Right, we're off. This is Rockingham's, I think it's the international circuit, which is the one the touring car guys use. Let Ben go in front since the Nissan reigning champ.
So the drag race didn't go too well. So here we are out on the circuit, and hopefully I'm going to claw back some time here. Bit of understeer there, bit of oversteer.
Porsche, I tell you what, it's one thing Porsche does know how to do, is how to make carbon ceramic brakes work. That's the distance control, radar control, and telling me that I'm getting too close to the Nissan. Warning, GTR, too close, we're going too fast.
It feels like this car's less agile than the 911 through this section.
Yeah, the brake pedal feel is brilliant from these ceramics. Great power, but also just a really strong pedal feel. Pretty close. It's more even than I would think, actually.
I'll tell you what, though, these cars are both really quick.
Well, there's not much in it on the straights, I can tell you that. Whoa! Bad vibration under braking. I don't know what that is. Let's get him. Whoa!
Still quite a lot of understeer. If anything, the Porsche is getting away on those more technical sections.
It's got 4-wheel steer, this new turbo, and it really does help this thing change direction. Turn it in, it's brilliant. It's hard to believe the engine is slung out the back there.
Quite a lot of oversteer. He's pulled a reasonably big gap now.
Really makes a difference having the paddles on the steering wheel. Actually, you always wonder, paddles on the column, paddles on the wheel. When you're on some of these corners, you really do need to make a change. Oh, too early, too early.
I'm back with him now. Right with him. It's faster again. I'm getting quite a lot of oversteer where you're just, yeah.
The Porsche strolled away from the Nissan as if the GTR's ECU had gone into limp home mode. It put its power down better, it felt so much lighter in direction changes and was just generally more composed everywhere. So we timed them with the same driver in each car. By now the Porsche's tyres were starting to fade a bit. It didn't have quite the same bite, but it still put in a 1 minute 31.3 second lap, half a second faster than the Nissan. Victory to the Germans then. But probably not for long, because while we were at Rockingham, Nissan was back at the Nürburgring with a new hardcore Nismo version of the GTR that's faster than both of these cars. Over to you, Porsche.